Yeah, the end result I thought was obviously is going to look pretty good. The first quarter was not particularly great, so I was a little disappointed. I thought we were a fairly veteran group to start, obviously with the 4 returners, and then throw in Sydney Shaw, who's played in the SEC and started a bunch of games. I expected a little more out of us. I thought we fouled. We couldn't find any flow. The ball stopped too often. Didn't love our defensive identity. I thought we got better as the game went. Second quarter was a little bit better. Third quarter there was some moments where we were pretty good and looked like ourselves, and then I thought that kind of continued into the fourth. So got better as the game went, maybe got a little more comfortable. Obviously got a lot of kids a few minutes. Just about everybody scored, so that piece was really good. I thought Jordan was really good in that first half and kind of carried us offensively when we didn't have much else going. Obviously, Sydney Shaw kind of caught fire and did what we've seen Sydney do quite a bit since she got here. JJ got going a little bit, battled the foul trouble again, and we've got to be a little bit better there and stay out of foul trouble. And then, yeah, just kind of pieced it together. Kaya battled. I thought rebounded really well for us, just couldn't get anything to fall. And so, yeah, so work to do. It's one of hopefully quite a few this year. It was an okay performance that got a little bit better, and we'll find ways to continue to improve.
So you talked about that slow start to start the game. Is there something that you can almost take positively out of that it's like we already experienced that? Because a lot of times in maybe these smaller school games, you just dominate from start to finish. You don't really necessarily get any kind of conflict. Is there a part of it that you feel almost good about that you were able to respond with that?
Well, I think you have to when it happened. You got to take something from it. And so, yeah, we use the word, they kind of punched us a little bit, and they were making some shots. We weren't. Maybe getting a little frustrated. I thought our flow offensively was bad, and we were a little dribble happy. So, yeah, that's the good stuff. We can go show them the film and show when we were at our best, when the ball was moving and we were creating space, and we did not do that early. So, yeah, we're going to learn from it for sure. I would still prefer to start a little bit better, but, yeah, we're going to find a way to get better from it.
Coach, with JJ's fouls, I think 2 of them were charging when she's trying to drive and make a pass. How do you adjust to that? Because obviously she's a player who likes to get to the rim, so how do you kind of adjust?
Well, just to play off 2 feet. They were both because she didn't play off 2 feet, and she needs to play off 2 a little bit more. And, when she gets in there, that's it. To make a quicker decision. I thought our decision-making was a little slow. It looked like the game was going fast at times, and so we were a step behind. And so I think that will get better. For the most part, she was pretty good about not doing that. It's the reach-in fouls and those types of things, to me, that I don't like. The charges, she's being aggressive. She's trying to make a play. She'll figure that out, so not worried about that one probably as much as the reaches and the off-ball fouls.
What did it mean to get Zaya Nugent some minutes tonight after, she had that injury all of last year, and she came with you from Stephen F. Austin? So what did it mean to see her back out on the court?
Yeah, a lot. I mean, we've been together for 6 years now, and probably like 8 from the recruiting days, so I've seen the kid, and she's battled through it for 2 consecutive years. And I asked her yesterday at practice, how you feeling? Are you excited? And she said, yeah, she was just really excited. She's worked really hard to get back here, and she's still got some work to do, but just to see her out there playing the game that she loves is pretty special to me. And I know she was probably pretty excited to get out there and score a bucket again, and I think she took a charge right there in the first half. So yeah, kind of she'll start to settle in, hopefully.
How much of a sigh of relief was it, like halfway through the second quarter, you guys fall down 18-16, and then 10-0 run with 3 turnovers? Is that the point where you're like, deep breath, this is finally what I was looking for?
Yeah, I mean, that was one of them. I mean, I thought more into the third quarter when it was really going, and then, timeout, big run, place got kind of loud. That's us even a little bit more. So, yeah, you're disappointed when they take the lead for those few seconds, but then you're always looking for the response. And I did like the response. And, that's what our group did a year ago, too. So I wasn't overly worried that we weren't going to make the run. It just took us longer than I was probably anticipating going into this.
How big was Jordan, on that run and then closing out the half, especially with JJ on the bench?
Yeah, well, I thought she was really good. I mean, she was the scoring in that second quarter, I thought, and got it. I think we beat them by 12 in the second quarter, and most of that was probably Jordan scoring or facilitating. But she finished with 23, 8, and 6 steals. So I thought she was really, really good in the floor general, and distributing and finding open people, and yeah, she was really good tonight.
You guys won the rebounding margin 38-29. That was an issue from a year ago that you kind of addressed over the offseason, was the rebounding. Obviously, you guys had the size advantage tonight, but what'd you see on your team's effort on the glass?
I thought it kind of mirrored how we played. It wasn't very good early, and we gave up a couple free throw line blockouts, which is inexcusable. But then again, I thought it got better as the night went on. The good news is that we can play a little bit bigger this year than we could last year, so we can kind of play 2 or 3 bigger rebounders. We can move Kaya to the 3 and play a 4 and a 5 with some size. So I think we'll eventually be able to clean up the rebounding even when we get into the Big 12. But I thought it was slow starting and then got better as the night went.
Coach, here's what I kind of find interesting with Jordan is that obviously over the course of a long season, there's going to be games where JJ goes off and maybe Sydney goes off, and so Jordan doesn't have to go out and score 23. But there might be other games where maybe JJ gets in foul trouble or so on. And so she seems to kind of have that innate understanding of, okay, this is a game I got to do this, and this is a game I got to do this. I mean, it's not an easy thing, is it, for a player to?
No, but when you're as talented as Jordan, like, she can feel it, and she's a true point guard that understands time, moment, who's got the hot hand. That's what we liked as she found Sydney Shaw. I think a couple times, when she had made a 3 and she's got her head up, and then when JJ goes out and she looks around, it's probably like, okay, now I might need to go a little bit until we can get some other kids, going a little bit. So, no, that's what Jordan is. She's now a junior. She's played a lot of college games and had a lot of success. So that's, I'm not necessarily surprised. That's what I expect of that kid because she's of that level. This is one of the best two-way guards in the country. So I would expect that from her.
What does Sydney Shaw bring to the offense? Because there were a couple sequences where she kind of took over.
Yeah, no, she did. She can shoot it. There's more to her game, and we need to continue to challenge her to show the rest of her game. I know she hit the one pull up there kind of later in the fourth quarter, but she can get to the rim. She lost the ball a couple times on some of those drives. I know she would like to have that back, but she can shoot it. She can get going, but that's not just what she is. In the past, she's been a mid-range kid and a get-to-the-rim kid. So we'll keep challenging her to score at all the levels. We'll keep challenging her to really defend and rebound for us. But, I thought she was really good, too, tonight, and she'll continue to get better, I think, as well.
Jordan Thomas in her first collegiate game, 6 points, couple rebounds, was battling down on defense. What did you see on her effort in her debut?
Yeah, I thought Jordan did a good job. We need to do a little bit better job of getting her a few more touches. I thought she had one that she kind of had on the left side and came back to that right hand. So, that was the one move that I would like for her to have back and make a better decision. But she's going to battle. She'll rebound. She has great hands and great feet. So for a freshman in her first game, I was about what I probably expected of her, and she's going to be a huge piece to what we do, and she's another one that will get better throughout the season as she gets a little more comfortable with what we're doing.
You had a few rotations of Jordan out there with Celia also, so a couple 2 forward looks. That's not something you did a lot last year. What does it mean to be able to put that look out there, and does that just come from the depth from the forward position on the team this year?
Yeah, I think we have some options. Tears has been hurt, so she hasn't just practiced. Her and Destiny have been out a little bit the last probably seven days, so they were kind of on a limited minutes, and so that gave Cece a really good opportunity. But we thought Cece was one of her, maybe the best junior college post player in the country a year ago. She really can play the 4 and the 5, so if we want to go big, that's one of the lineups when we need to rebound. Then we would go with that or throw a Tears in or maybe even Danelle. So we have options. Again, I keep telling them I need some of them to separate from the others a little bit and, make my life easy from a rotational standpoint. And we won't have it figured out here for a little bit. We're going to have to kind of keep playing with it and see who we like together. But that allows us to move Kaya to the 3 and maybe even the 2 if we need to.
You didn't shoot very well from range early on. Do you get to a point where you're like, I don't care if you're open, we're not making them, you got to drive, or is it if you're open, shoot it, they got to go in eventually?
A little bit of both. I think we're still working through to see who those, kids are. Some kids, you may not need to be taking that shot. You need to find different ways, and other kids that are shooters. I always think shooters, the more shots they take, the closer they are to figuring it out. So some of those kids you want to keep shooting. Others, you don't have to take that one. You might be open for a reason, so maybe we should go find a layup or a free throw.
What helped in the third? Because I think that was 5 and 9, and then you really after halftime you shot much better.
Yeah, no, we did. Yeah, we got to 12 and shot 36%. So if we can get to 10 to 12 threes a night and shoot 36%, we'll be just fine from 3. It was inside the arc that we didn't probably shoot it as well as we would like, and I thought we made the free throws for the most part. Missed a couple late, but for the most part, I thought we were okay there.
Coach, what do you think of Kaya's game tonight? Early, it seemed like she was grabbing every rebound. but then she couldn't, get the stroke to go on the other end. Just, what would you see there?
Yeah, no, I thought she was fantastic on defense, which she always is, and she's active. And I think she had 7 rebounds in the first half, and kind of came out of nowhere on a couple of them. And that's where we needed a rebound, especially with that group that we start. She's the best rebounder in that lineup. I thought they were kind of daring her to take some perimeter shots. She would have been one maybe that after she had missed 3 or 4, probably need to drive in there, Kaya, and see if we can't get a layup or get to the free throw line. But I have the ultimate confidence and faith in that kid. She's played in huge games and been in big moments, so she'll get it figured out. And then we got to rest her a little bit. We play her a lot, so this was a good opportunity to limit those minutes some, because she's going to probably play a lot here over the next week.
Is there anything you say to JJ when it seemed like she was kind of getting upset, frustrated, shots weren't falling, and she gets into foul trouble, and she kind of gets upset like that? Do you need to say anything to her, or you just kind of let her figure it out and be who she is?
A little bit of both. I mean, you at times try to help her work through it, and then at times there's some decisions that you're not making that are leading to some of your frustration. So you're trying to help her in those ways to limit the frustration based on maybe a decision or something she didn't see. I thought she started trying to force the issue just a little bit off the dribble, and we weren't moving the ball, and so I just wanted her to get rid of it, to get it back, let other people get some touches, and maybe get her a little bit more space. And then she got a little bit more in the third quarter finally. But in that first quarter, second quarter, we were a little just too dribble happy. But everybody's just trying to go. We're trying to make plays. It's the first game, and we just didn't we need to trust the ball a little bit more.
You mentioned it was good to see the whole roster on opening night. How does that help you and your staff early in the season get to see everybody in game action?
Yeah, it keeps everybody engaged too, though. They all got minutes, so they all stay kind of excited. They all, hopefully come back. We have film on them, so now they all get to watch themselves on film, so they can get with their positional coach and see themselves, and so we can get better. And, there won't be all opportunities to do that throughout the season, and so when you get it, you do like to get those kids a crack at it. They work pretty hard as well every day.
If I get a comment about Saturday's game, 2 of the top teams in the country last year who led, turnovers. I don't know if they do it exactly like the way you guys do it, but I mean, what could that game kind of look like?
Yeah, we played them a year ago too, so it was number 1 and number 2 in the country in turnovers forced a year ago. So yeah, you can imagine what it'll be a little track meet. Both teams press just about the entire night. They do it differently than we do. So we do have some tape from a year ago we can at least go back to. But, it's a solid program. They won a ton of games, did very, very well in their league. I've played them, and I think at SFA once, or they are at least in the same tournament as us. So somewhat familiar with them. But, yeah, no, they do a good job. I haven't studied them at all yet. We'll start that process tomorrow.
The old saying is pressing teams don't like to be pressed. So now you got 2 pressing teams pressing each other. I mean, that just seems like it could be a little weird. Maybe.
Yeah, it can be at times. There'll probably be some points on the board. I think we got 100 plus a year ago, if I'm not mistaken. So, it'll be I don't know that we'll be calling a whole lot of sets or action. This will probably be a little free-flowing and just letting the kids play and make the right reads. So, yeah, we'll go to work on that, but we'll have to practice the press breakers and be prepared for their pressure, which is great. I think the non-conference allows you to play a bunch of different styles. And this is one that, I don't know that we have anybody in the Big 12 that plays exactly like them, but you never know when you run into somebody or late game type stuff. So this will give us a chance to work on quite a bit of press break stuff.
Thanks, everyone.